All right, KD, my man, how we doing tonight?
And I'm doing great. How about you?
Man, we are blessed as always. We're glad to be talking football again. Got a big dog in the house, man. We've had a couple guests that have been big dudes, but I think you by far take the cake, my man. You are a man. I'll just say that. You are a man. Like I don't want to line up against you. I just want to be your friend. That's how big you are, my man. But before we get into the interview, a few weeks back, Jared Farlow and some others put on an event for some kids at the Lafayette County, really just showing, kids their true purpose. There was an inspiration behind that event, and just tell us a little bit about that event and how it went.
Um, so are you talking about the KD's Fun Day event?
Yes.
Yeah.
So about that event, this started way back in September, October. God moved in my heart. He wanted me to start pouring into the youth. This always started back with my mom. I always had a caring heart, and I always knew that God had something for me. And I always felt like I was more than just an athlete. What my shirt say. I just feel like my purpose is in the ministry, really, to just uplift the youth, and not just the youth, but everyone around me. So every Thursday during the season, I would go talk to the kids at CB Well and just come up with one word and define that to them and talk about something in my life and talk about a scripture that retains to that word. And I talked about Job. I love the story of Job. Just perseverance and just trusting in God and having faith in Him no matter what happened to him. And I haven't been able to do anything for the kids this summer. Been busy with some things, so it hit me when one of the kids that I talked to, she said, "When are you going to do something for us? We miss you." And that really just made me feel some type of way because they are listening and they look up to me because some of them don't have father figures in their life. And I grew up without a father. And my mom, she stepped in as that father figure in my life. And I had a grandfather that passed away in 2010 that taught me a lot of things. And to this day, I still thank him and I look up to him. And I got in touch with Jared, great guy. I call him my brother. I told him I wanted to do a fun day for the kids at Oxford, the community, something free. The kids don't got to pay. And I just wanted to give back to the community and let them know that I was once in their shoes and that they could talk to me about anything. I'm not the type of person with the big head. I'm humble. I'm thankful that I'm the person I am today because all that ties in back to my mom, my family, and God. The way they raised me, mannerable, respectful. So everything went fine that day. A lot of kids showed up. A lot of teammates helped me with it. And I want to continue to pour in the community. And I got a bigger vision than just that. Like, I got something big that's going to happen with the community.
Nice, nice. Well, it's kind of simple when you think about it. The smallest things to you might be the biggest things to someone else. And I'm sure, like, as a man, when that kid came to you and was like, "Hey man, we miss you, where you been?" I know that, like, brought you to your knees, I bet. Like, you really feel that, and it just kind of puts into perspective, you have some abilities and you're very talented, but giving back is its own thing, and to be able to share that with those kids, man, my hat's off to you, and continue to do that. Um you know that's being more than just an athlete, like you said. But you mentioned mom, you mentioned grandpa, but I want to go back a little bit further. Like, where are you from?
So I'm originally from Union Springs, Alabama. That's where my whole family is. Union Springs, Midway, Alabama. I grew up in Eufaula, Alabama. My mom, she moved to Eufaula when I was born, and I've been going to school there ever since then. But I always call Union Springs my hometown. that's just where my roots started at. On Highway 82, I got it tatted on me. On my grandfather's house, still on Highway 82.
So if I was gonna go there for just a little bit of time, what's the one thing I gotta do?
Fishing.
Fishing. I got you. I
There you
got
go.
you.
That's my game. I'm on it.
Yeah. Jim claims to be a fisherman these days. He's out there catching bass. I think he don't even know what he catches, man. To be honest, he goes out there. I think honestly, because he's got a house full of kids, he's just trying to escape for a few minutes. So, but you mentioned mom and you mentioned your grandfather. You know, did you have any brothers or sisters growing up?
Not on my mom's side. It was just me and my mom. So the bond we got, I get emotional because we've been through a lot, and I don't know any woman that's stronger than my mom, the things she's been through. And I thank God for her to this day. Like, me and her have an amazing bond, man. Like, it's just blessed to have a mom like her. She never missed a practice. Growing up, my mom was at every single practice. When I first started playing football, I didn't know how to play football. My mom would literally do football drills with me. She would let me tackle her. Like, she always wanted nothing but the best for me. And I truly appreciate her. And I want to give my mom the world whenever I'm able to.
So you mentioned as well as grandfather. So what is grandfather? What role does he play in all this? Is it taking part of the dad figure? Is it just helping mom out, or is it just kind of being a mentor and just being a leader?
So my grandfather's a superhero to me. I truly mean that. I looked up to my grandfather with everything. My grandfather is a big guy, real big guy. Was always in the weight room. I hear stories about him back in the 90s, 80s, where he would lift the back of like dune buggies up, cars, put tree stumps on his shoulder and carry them. Um, I just heard a lot of great stories about him from my mom and his sisters, and he would even tell me himself. And not having my father in my life, my granddad stepped in and played that father figure. He always called me champ, the champ, and he would always say the champ is here. And I even named my pit bull champ because it meant that much to me. When he passed away in 2010, I felt like that was a part of me that had passed. He passed away from pancreatic cancer, stage 4. And I spent that whole summer with him, and I enjoyed every moment with my grandfather. And to this day, I remember everything he told me, everything he taught me. And it's just, people like him one day really make you want to just do right with your life and go to heaven. Before he passed away, he told my mom, God is real. And it's just, that's what really pushes me every day to have a great life and treat others with respect, and just get closer to God, because I want to see him one day again, and I know I will. So I appreciate him to this day, and he always told me before he died, he gonna always be at every game, and that's why I wear number 55. He passed away at 55, and I still sometimes wonder like what it'd be like with him still here. I know I would talk to him every single day. He called my mom every morning. Every morning they would talk, and I know it would be the same with him. When I was a little kid, he used to wake up before the sun got up. I remember this every day. He was this type of guy, and we had a long driveway, and he would walk the driveway every morning, and we loved to go fishing. He was a jack of all trades. He know how to fix washing machines, anything you want him to fix, he know how to fix, and he would just pick up worms from out the driveway, and we would go fishing every day. That's all we did. If I needed anything, he would be there for me, and he was the definition of a father.
So let me ask you this. All right. So you had mom, you had your granddad. After a bad game, who's giving you the business better, mom or granddad?
I really would say I never really had a
He said I
bad.
didn't have a bad
You
game.
never had a bad
I knew
game.
that was coming.
Growing up, I just always was the biggest. I would just dominate, and that's just God given, and I appreciate God for that. But like I said, I'm more than an athlete. He gave me this tool to be able to uplift others. Like, this is a platform, and my job is to show the world what God done for my life and the things he do for them.
That's a great answer, and I believe that too because um I have a feeling like you were always the biggest kid. No matter what team you're on, you're the biggest kid and probably the nicest kid, but the scariest kid altogether. So like, were you always a big kid or were you just got, I mean, how does that work, man? I just
So
picture you just being the biggest kid and now you just continue to grow, just
in
big.
fifth grade, how old are you in fifth grade? 10 years old? 10?
Yeah.
So fifth grade, I was wearing a size 10 in shoes. I weighed 185, and I was probably 5'11", 6 foot. I hit a growth spurt in fifth grade, and I always been the same height ever since. Each year, I just got bigger. My eighth grade year, I was playing middle linebacker. I was like 240, and I just got bigger ever since. And I just always been the same height. So
Daniel.
always been the longest and just the biggest. And I think that just comes genetically and from my granddad's side, really, because my uncle the same way, his younger brother.
Daniel, I graduated at 165. What'd you graduate at?
Probably 285, 280.
No, but Daniel, what'd you graduate at?
185.
my man weighed more than us in fifth grade.
I'm telling you, man. I could imagine like if I was like nose tackle, I would just sit down. Like if you was playing middle linebacker, I wouldn't do nothing. I just be like, he's got it. He's got me. Um, you know, I always picture like, we've had a couple guys on that have always said, yeah, I was always the biggest kid, but I always picture like you going to the game and then the other team's parents asking to see that kid's birth certificate because they just don't believe it. Like, have you had any situations pop up like that as a kid?
So, man, I wish my mom was on here. I had that many times, not even just football games, but restaurants. Like, I love Chinese food. So we would go to the buffet and my mom would tell them how old I am. And they would be like, can I see his birth certificate? So like, it always something that I saw growing up.
They probably when they saw you coming, they had to ring the bell or some type of alarm in the back. They're like, he's back. I mean, I bet you guys like football guys just punish buffets. I just picture like just putting a hurting on any buffet there is, man.
I love soul food, man. That my grandmother, she could cook. My mom could cook. So every time I come home, I gain at least about 5 pounds.
Well, if they're anything like my mother and my grandmother, they didn't know how to cook for just a couple people. They know how to cook for a whole army of people. So there's always plenty of food to go around.
Yes, sir.
So, outside mom and outside grandpa, are you looking up to athletes? Like who else are you looking at to inspire you? Are you looking at, guys that are playing pro ball? Like what is it?
So growing up, you probably heard of Courtney Upshaw.
Mm-hmm.
He's from Eufaula, Alabama, and I just always looked up to him. I remember, I wouldn't say we were the poorest or anything, but I would say that I didn't have everything that I wanted, and that was okay because my mom made sure that we had enough. And so we didn't have cable when I was young, and so we had a radio, and I would listen to the radio, and I listened to the BCS National Championship game when Courtney Upshaw won MVP, and when they played LSU in 2011, and I remember him saying, "Touch that thing, folks." And I just always looked up to him for what he stood for, his background, the perseverance he had. Until this day, me and him talks. And I look at him as a big brother. And throughout middle school, I wore number 41. And then when high school got here, that's when I wore 55 for my grandfather, because I had to tell myself, you got to make a name for yourself. And that's what I did. And I'm still making a name for myself to this day.
So, KD, backtracking just a little bit. Before we get into high school, though, we read an article from the Union Spring Herald about your passion for dogs. Tell us a little bit about that. Obviously, we're all dog people on the show, but tell us about your passion for pups.
Like, that comes back from my mom, my granddad. I just love dogs. I grew up around dogs. Like, I don't know what it is, but they're a man best friend, man. When I get older, I want to have one of the top kennels in the nation. You got to start from somewhere. I truly don't believe you just gonna grow like that. You got to be patient, and that's one thing I learned through life. It's on God's time and not on your time, and He knows what's best for you. He don't want to give you too much at one time.
Now,
So,
that's ironic coming from you, KD, being 185 pounds in fifth grade, that you ain't gonna grow like that.
Hey, but right here, KD, here's some proof that what you're saying is something that you believe in, despite what Randy's saying. So take a listen.
basically just taking one day at a time, getting better, working on small things, and making sure I get 1% better each day.
See that, Randy? That's proof that he just wants to get a little bit better. He ain't trying to like build Rome in a day. He just, he's going to do the very best, get a little bit better. And before you know it, man, it's going to be owning things and running it.
I respect it. And I believe we're going to see it, KD. We'll be looking out for it. You got a name for it yet?
HBK Hillboy Kennel, got my LLC. So I got my Instagram page. So you can go check it out. USBR ABKC registered. And a couple more years, I'm going to be a top breed out there. Not just not just in dog breeding, but I want to be a top NFL player as well.
Hey, Randy, at least KD came on here. I've seen the picture of his dogs. Morris, I run into Morris, and Morris got, he's a large man, and he got the little baby dogs. At least KD got real man dogs.
No doubt, no doubt. Well, if anybody's looking for a little NIL deal, sound like my man KD, I'm sure there's a lot of breeders that could help get you started, but you sound like you got a great start. But you talked about kind of where you grew up and where you moved to. For everybody that does not know, what high school did you attend?
Eufaula High School, Eufaula, Alabama.
Eufaula, Alabama. So you're tabbed a 3-star recruit by 247 and Rivals. Rivals got you ranked as the number 25 player in Alabama. Did you think you should have been a little higher, KD?
Yeah, most definitely. But at that point, I just felt like a baller gonna play. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yes, sir.
He was a 3-star, probably lower than a 3-star if I'm not mistaken. But they gonna always find you. Effort and your heart gets you noticed, and just taking one day at a time. Like I always say, I truly believe in that. Work ethic, hard work always beats talent when talent's not working.
Absolutely. So you total over 100 plus tackles for the Tigers in 3 seasons, including 52 as a senior. So what happened that senior year to you got half your tackles, your career in high school, all in one season? It just all come together for you that season, KD?
It all came together, and that goes back to hard work. It's not going to happen on your time, but it's going to happen on God's time. And when it happens, the world going to notice.
Absolutely. It's all God's timing, right? So I got a question for you. This isn't
Yes.
a this or that just yet, but I do have a question. What's a better feeling for you? Sacking a quarterback or stuffing a running back dead in his tracks in the backfield?
I call myself I'm really a run guy, so I love to run. So I would say stuffing a running back in the backfield and celebrating with my teammates.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So if you could pick one moment from high school, what's your favorite moment on the football field?
Playing a 3-tech guard pull, and when the guy got the ball from the quarterback, I hit the man in the backfield.
You said so you said you're just celebrating with your teammates. What's the go-to celebration dance for you, KD? You got one?
I play with a lot of enthusiasm and passion, and that all reverts back to the things I've been through. So I'm a very emotional and passionate guy. So when I celebrate, whatever just come out, man. You could see when we played Tulane, I suplexed the running back. I was just jumping up. It's just a lot of pain, blood, sweat, and tears that I brought into this game. And a lot of people don't understand how hard I work, man.
No, absolutely. So you get to play in the Alabama-Mississippi State All-Star game. Tell us what that experience was like for you.
For one, it was a blessing. I was the captain of the Alabama team, which shows a lot about my character. I wasn't even expecting myself to be a captain. It was a lot of great players there. Me and Jaquez Jones, who played here as well, transferred to Kentucky, great brother of mine. And it was just a great experience. To this day, me and those same boys in the same group chat, we talk every day, Justin, Ross, all of us. So it was just a blessing.
Absolutely. So at Ole Miss, you're currently an FCA leader. Were you also involved in FCA in high school as well?
No, sir. I didn't even know anything about FCA. I just attended church every Sunday when I could.
Now, is that something that your mom, grandma instilled in you too, to go into church, or was that something you found on your own? How you get to that?
My mom going to church every Sunday, but this all goes back to seventh grade summer, heading into 8th grade. I remember this like it was yesterday. Revival, and it was a packed house at church, and the pastor asked, I was young, man, 7th grade. He asked, is there anybody that want to give their life to Christ today? And I was sitting with my friends. You know how the kids sit with their friends at church. My mom would get on to me when I would be laughing and stuff. And something just moved in my heart, grabbed me literally. Like I felt something pull me into the aisle, and I walked down and gave my life to Christ. And I just felt like I was chosen. My cousin, Tony Ellison, a great mentor to me. He's in the ministry. Me and him talk all the time. And he always tell me this, many are called, but few are chosen. And I feel like I'm chosen in the ministry direction. And when that time comes, I'm going to, shout and give that praise to the Lord.
Absolutely. I respect you for it. So KD, you kind of mentioned tackling your mom just real quick before we get into some more. So as big as you are, as grown of a man you are, when mom cuts them eyes at you, you straightening up, right?
Yeah, most definitely.
It don't matter how big you get, mama always going to be able to take you, right?
I'm going to go always bad to take me.
So I got a question. Obviously, you got the All-Star game, and it all came together your senior year. But when did you start getting recruited for major colleges or any colleges?
8th grade, I remember like it was yesterday. Kirby Smart came and pulled me out of school. I was playing linebacker. He came and talked to me. This is when he was still the defensive coordinator at Alabama. I was going through spring ball at the high school, and they moved me to D-line. He came and talked to me, invited me to the camps. And Gus Malzahn actually called me on the phone after a practice my 8th grade year during the scrimmage at the high school, trying out for the high school team. And they were recruiting me then. And Alabama recruited me up to my 12th grade year. I didn't receive an offer, but God has everything ordained and planned for my life. He knew where I was supposed to be at. And Gus Malzahn, Coach Malzahn, I got a lot of respect for him. He offered me my 10th grade summer in high school.
Hey, hold on a second. Look, I got to go back. Who was the high school coach that said you had to try out for the team? That's what I want to know.
Oh, so basically it was just like us doing our practices with the bigger guys, like the older guys.
The bigger guys, I think that was you, KD.
That was you.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how Randy, he said Alabama fell off senior year, but senior year's when he got turned up. They messed up.
Absolutely. Hey, KD lets them know. He let them know on the field.
That's a Kirby Smart thing to do, to pull the man out of class. Dude, KD trying to get his learn on. They prevent him from doing that. Man.
So KD, for those that don't know, what were your top choices? Other than Ole Miss, obviously.
So really, the type of person I am, my mom raised me well. I'm a man of my word. That's one thing. I'm a man of my word. I've been committed to Ole Miss since 11th grade summer, heading into my senior season. And when all these schools start pouring in more, I told them, like, hey, I told them they got my word. Like, Coach Freeze recruited me, Coach Freddie Roach. And I told them, like, hey, I'm not going anywhere. Like, I'm a man of my word. I truly believe, like, this is the place where I need to be. When we first took our visit here, I just felt something just moving inside of me. And this was like home to me. Like, it just felt like home. So I really didn't have no other top schools. It was, no matter how many whoever offered me, no matter how many scholarships I had, Ole Miss was going to be the place regardless.
Yeah, no doubt. So you get to Oxford, man, and some people are real excited, real nervous. Which one were you? A little bit of both. What was going on?
I was excited, man. Just being a freshman, thinking I was gonna play early, but it don't work like that sometimes. And that's what I try to tell a lot of the young guys. I tell them, don't give up and don't get down on yourself when you don't see the field as a freshman. Just be patient and take advantage of the scout team periods. Like, that's when you get better. And I always let them know, just grow your faith in God. Like, I know a lot of young guys don't spend time with God. I didn't used to spend time with God a lot, reading my scriptures and stuff. But the older I got, the more I just got into reading my scriptures. And when you read those scriptures, that increase your faith because he's the same guy he was back then. And he'll never change. And that just really motivated me. And just, that's why I always say God is right on time, because your hard work may not happen overnight, but when it happens, it's gonna happen. And don't never look back and don't stop working, because it's gonna click just like that overnight. And you gonna know where it come from, and you gonna know how to maintain it and just get better every day.
Absolutely. Well, me, Randy, and Daniel, we've had numerous athletes on here who've talked about waiting their time. And, some of them talk about what a blessing it is because of what they learn. Some people get upset, they want to jump right in there, but they talk about what they learned. I mean, you talk about being on that scout team and, so that red shirt freshman season, other than the God aspect, just from a football aspect, what did you learn most just from being able to be a part of the program itself, but not actually, be in all the games?
Basically, technique, man. Technique matters. I always thought it was the strength standpoint as a freshman. But when you learn your technique, it's just like day and night, man. And people notice it. Playing D-line, be a great D-line, you got to have great hands and eyes. And I appreciate Coach Roach for always helping me and teaching me those things.
Yeah, no doubt. And it says you played 2 games in that redshirt year. Did you get to play in Vaught Hemingway in one of those? Did you actually get to be a part of the atmosphere that freshman season?
Yes, sir.
What was that like when you just, man, going out there and realizing, man, it becomes real then?
Man, like I said, man, I'm a very emotional, passionate guy because the things I went through in my life, and for me to just step foot on that field, it meant the world to me because that was a dream come true. I always dreamed of these things. I always had a vision. The way I think, man, I think big. I dream big, and I don't have a plan B. I got a plan A because I know it's gonna work out. And it was just truly a blessing to see my mom out there in the stands smiling at me, and it just meant the world because I knew all my hard work was gonna pay off.
Yeah, absolutely. So 2019 year comes around, man. You play in 11 games. You're playing on special teams. You're coming in and out at defensive linemen. So obviously that hard work's starting to pay off. You're getting time on the field. Before we get into Ole Miss, I got to ask you a question, man, because you see the LSU jersey in the corner. You see the LSU hat. I got to ask you, that 2019 season. You seen Joe Burrow and the boys. How awesome was that offense, man? Be honest with me. From the other side, tell me how awesome they were.
Until this day, man, I tell a lot of people, besides Georgia this year, before Georgia even won the Natty in this season, I told a lot of people that LSU team was probably the best team that ever played college football. Besides this Georgia team that just played past year and won. But that team was different, man. Like, they was brought in and you could tell that they played for each other. And when a team is together and have a brotherhood like that, nobody can between them.
Yeah, no doubt. Ooh, we lost him. I just said it.
Can you see me?
Not yet, but we'll edit that out.
There you are.
Anyway, when just start from when a team is brought together like that.
Oh yeah, when a team is brought together like that, nobody can stop them, man. That brotherhood is just strong, and you're not letting nobody in between you all.
Yeah. So I got to bring up LSU because we kind of in low times right now. So I had to go back to the high times, and you was there to see it. So I just want to get a defensive lineman's perspective of just because that team was good as a whole, but we obviously know the offense was the juggernaut. But for Ole Miss that year, ended 4-8. So it wasn't the season that y'all expected, but obviously, as you see the years that, or we're going to talk about the years that follow, there's obviously a lot of growth that comes. Like just talk about the team and how you grow through that adversity of having a season that just doesn't go the way you kind of want it to.
For one, growth ain't gonna be pretty, man. You gotta start from somewhere. Like I told you, you just can't expect just to jump up right then. First of all, you gotta build a culture, man. Everybody gotta buy in that culture as well. And everybody gotta work. You gotta be more about action than words. And once you get all three of those things tied in, first of all, start off with the coaching staff. And what they believe in. When you got a bunch of coaches that believe in you, it's hard to be beat, man, because that builds confidence, man. So that's pretty much where I'm at, and that's how we get where we at today at Ole Miss. Just buying in, man, and building a culture, and just seeing how just getting a little taste of winning, man. That just makes you want to play harder, man.
Yeah, and so the next season, all that hard work is continuing to pay off. As now you got 8 starts at defensive tackle in 10 games. Obviously, a shortened COVID season, but obviously, in those 10 games, it's all SEC opponents. Man, there ain't no bye weeks, there ain't no off weeks. You're a starter now. What's the mindset? You talk about the emotion that you have. What's the mindset? You're a starter now. You got an SEC gauntlet every week. What's going through the mind?
Really. First and foremost, this is just who I am. I truly put my faith in God because that's what I stand for. But it was a blessing, man. Like to see my hard work finally paying off because that was something I just always believed. Like I will be a starter in the SEC, and that year was just a blessing to me. I learned a lot, man. Like you gotta have a lot of experience, man, and you learn a lot from just playing the games. And I learned a lot from that year, and it really helped me this past year and just helped my game get better and better.
You know what, Jim? I got another clip that really goes into depth on you know why he's able to go out there and really dominate.
We actually have a chip on our shoulders this year, and every single game we want to dominate.
So I mean, it's very simple. You got a chip on your shoulder, and you just want to go out there and dominate. And it ain't about wins and losses. It's simply about doing the best that you can do, and knowing that whatever's in front of you, you're not just gonna win. You're not just gonna beat it, but you gonna dominate it. That's an amazing mindset to have, especially when you're talking about growth being, unpretty at times. Like, man, unbelievable, dude. Unbelievable. Wise beyond your years.
Yeah, and with that year, I want to ask about a specific game, because I live in North Mississippi. I'm kind of right there by Oxford and Starkville. Very familiar with everything going on between Mississippi State and Ole Miss, and I want to talk to you about that atmosphere and winning that game. Just man, how amazing was that?
Um, the type of culture Kiffin is building, we supposed to win those games. You know what I mean? We're the flagship of the state. So like when we play Mississippi State, it shouldn't really be a big game anymore because we supposed to dominate those guys. We want bigger than just the Egg Bowl. That's not what we don't want just the Egg Bowl. We want a national championship.
But look, I give you a good laugh, and we all three still laugh about it. Will Rogers, and we love him. He came on here, and he said he was going to beat LSU, and he said he was going to beat Memphis, which is Daniel's team. He didn't beat either of them. Anyway, so with that, he didn't beat you either. So my man Will gonna have to step it up a notch. But last year you did start in all 13 games. Y'all went 10-3. Obviously, so like we talked about the progress, you went from 4-8 to 5-5 to 10-3, Sugar Bowl experience. Just, I mean, like you said, the culture is building. Like, Obviously didn't get the Sugar Bowl win, but what was that like? The experience, to have that much success, win 10 games, make it to one of the New Year's Six bowls.
I'm gonna go back to this once again because this truly what I stand on. We supposed to do those things. Coach Kiffin, a great guy, man, and he's really just building confidence in this facility, man, and you could just feel the energy around it. But I expect those things from us. Like, we want to be playing in a national championship in the playoffs this year. Like, that's the goal. But first and foremost, we got to get through fall count and take one game at a time.
So, Katie, no doubt you bring up Lane Kiffin, and obviously, I just got to ask. I mean, you talk about the culture that he's building. I think everyone can see that. How much fun is it playing for a guy like that, and just the whole staff, not just him, obviously?
Man, it's fun. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, you see the sidelines, my guy Jonathan Hess with the fire extinguisher. Like, when teams see that, that makes them want to come play for us. Like, they like, dang, these guys got a lot of energy, and they're having fun while doing it.
So I got to ask you a real specific question. Obviously, the game did not quite go your way, but pregame, they're interviewing him on the field, and everybody knows he threw the headset down or tossed it down and said, "Get your popcorn ready." I mean, do you guys, are you even aware of that before the game, or did you all see that after the game?
After the game, like, I didn't even realize that the elephant had the popcorn, like, until like, it just blew up on social media. So I was just locked in. But, yeah, I didn't know he did any of that.
No doubt. Showed a lot of passion. And I think that for, you guys, it's galvanizing having a leader like that, I would think. But you said it, that you guys, your expectation is to be playing for a national championship, to be in the playoffs. Obviously, there's big expectations for you guys too, and that's what you want, right? Because you should do those things. You got some huge home games this year against Auburn, Alabama, and maybe this isn't a big game, but it's Mississippi State. Is there any game that you're more excited about, or is it just all business, every game's the same?
All business, every game the same. You should want to play Troy, Central Arkansas, Georgia Tech like you play Alabama. So nothing should change. Each opponent should stay the same. You should stay locked in each game.
So, Katie, you're better than me, because if I were you and I was from the state of Alabama and I didn't get that offer, I might have a little vendetta against them.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Most definitely.
Yeah, I got you. So we opened the show talking about your impact off the field, and with the youth. How much does it mean to you to be on the Werfel watch list? And for those that don't know, the Werfel watch list is for the college football player who best combines exemplary community service with athletic and academic achievement. So, Katie, what does that mean to you to be on that list?
A blessing, man. Like, I go back, he's always on time, and I really do this from my heart. When God speaks to you, you need to be obedient to his word. He knows what's best for you. And this is my calling. And I'm just doing what he wants me to do, man. And if I just continue to do this and shine this light on others, all it's doing is helping the youth. Like, the community here in Oxford, the kids, like, I'm impacting them. And when they get older and when they become successful, they going to always remember me. And they going to always have their kids, like, just know, like, hey, I had a guy named Kadarian Hill that would come spend numerous time with us and just always believed in us when no one else did. Because these are kids in the projects, man. A lot of people, they limit them and leave them out, but a lot of people don't know those kids can be successful, man.
No, absolutely. That's a blessing for sure. So clearly the goal for you, actually, I don't know, but aiming for the NFL, I would imagine, but we've heard you be interviewed, and if football doesn't work out, obviously you have other things. You've mentioned the kennel, making an impact in the community, but could it be maybe motivational speaking or preaching? Because I'm getting some vibes, man. The ministry is definitely on your heart, I can tell. So what's in the future if it's not the NFL?
Most definitely one of those things, motivational speaker, ministry, something like that. My kennel, and just being a positive person, man. I want to build a bunch of shelters for the homeless people, man. Get out in the community. I want to, like, say, first you got to start with the youth, man. That's how we get rid of a lot of these things in the United States and the world right now, because they are the future and they can impact this world as well. So that's what I want to do, man.
Well, I'll tell you, KD, you know, not to cut you off, Randy, you know, we hear a lot of guys, and Randy, heck, me and you talk about this more than anybody. A lot of people talk about it, right? They talk about glory to God, and they talk about being a good person, but, you know, actions speak louder than words. And I think that's the biggest thing about what we're seeing with you is it's not just saying it in front of a camera and just looking good. You're actually out there doing it, and that's the difference.
Oh yeah, man, I take that seriously. Like I said earlier, a lot of young kids don't read the scriptures and stuff. I was once one of those kids, but that all comes down to growth as well. And till this day, man, every night I'm reading scriptures. Every Sunday, Monday, I'm on the phone with my auntie for about an hour. We're going through scriptures. I got Jeremiah 29:11 tattooed on me. I truly have a lot of faith in God. Things get hard in life, and whoever listening to this, man, I want y'all to know this, man. When things get hard, don't give up. I know a lot of people say this, but it's true because when you've been through it, you can talk about it. But God is real, and He's always on time. I keep saying this because this is a testimony in my life from some things that happened to me, but He always watching. And when you think no one is praying for you, it says in the scriptures, Jesus prays for you as well. So keep your head up and know better times are coming.
Man, you couldn't have said it any better, man. I hope for those that are listening, I'm sure they will. They'll get something out of it. They'll take a little tidbit here or there, and like you said, just make themselves 1% better every day. So, man, with that, dude, before we let you bounce, we're gonna play a quick game that we play with all of our guests. You down?
Oh yeah, I'm down, man.
All right, it's called This or That, man. I give you two options. All you got to do is choose one option or the other. Can't say both, can't say neither. Just whatever comes to your mind, pick that one.
Okay.
All right, so here we'll start off slow, a little easy toss-up question for you. Are you a pizza guy or are you a tacos guy?
Pizza.
What are you getting on your pizza? You better not say pineapple either.
I think that's weird. I love Meat Lovers Pizza.
Yeah, that's it. That's what's up.
Do you put down a whole pizza? I mean, you a large dude.
Man, I kid you not. I was eating the whole pizza when I was in 5th grade.
He's
I
up,
believe you.
he's up to 2.
I had high cholesterol in 5th grade.
So obviously a guy, you know, who's going to eat a whole pizza needs to be in the gym, right? So when you're in the gym, are you a bench guy or are you a squat guy?
You already know, upper body.
Man, what are you benching?
Probably 450, no doubt 450. If I'm 360,
That's like a warm up for 360.
I rep that. Like I work out with that for 5 sets of 360 when we work out on bench.
Daniel, that hurt my feelings. I did 375 barely today.
And incline, I'm doing 335, repping that out.
What are you squatting? Just curious to know.
I mean, I say that like it's nothing, but I got guys like Jalen Cunningham, JJ Pegues, that's probably squatting 700.
Man, that's
my legs just snapped thinking about it.
I know, man. I'm depressed just hearing those numbers. I might as well just stop working out. I'll never be able to do that. But man, I'm sure you guys are you got state-of-the-art facilities. You got, you know, a good staff around you. You do, you know, all the things that you need to do. So I'm sure you're putting in the work, man. So it's only the fruits of your labor that we're noticing, man. So keep up the good work there. But would you rather be surrounded by bad company or not be surrounded by company at all?
Not be surrounded by company at all.
Do you think you could sustain without nobody, just yourself?
I mean, God put females on the world for us.
I hear you.
I would say bad company because the person I am, I can impact their lives and change them.
All right. I can see that. All right. Would you rather go to a concert or a sporting event?
Sporting event, no doubt.
All right. If you could pick one sporting event to go see, bucket list, like I gotta see this at least one time. What sporting event are you going to?
I want to go to an NFL training camp, man.
All right. What
Finally got
train?
off the NBA Finals, Daniel.
I know our last few guests, they said they want to go to the NBA Finals. So, training camp. Who you going to see?
Aaron Donald.
Ooh,
That's
what a choice.
The best to ever do it, in my opinion, at that position.
yeah. I heard he was pretty good. So
he made
speaking
it,
of Joe Burrow earlier,
yeah,
that's exactly
speaking
where
of
I was
Joe
going.
Burrow.
He made Joe Burrow's life rough.
Yeah. So, would you rather be in intense pain for an hour or dull pain for the entire day? So, really sharp, intense pain, get it over with quick, or this dull, nagging, pain in the butt pain all day long?
Intense. Pain don't always last forever, so intense. I get that from
Are you a roller coaster guy or a water slide guy?
man. I'm afraid of heights, so I am definitely not getting on the roller coaster. I think I'm too big for that. But I water slide, depending on how high it is.
Daniel, or Randy, either of y'all, what was the name of that water slide that was really high at Adventure River when we were kids? It took me a while before I got the stuff up there.
Geronimo, man.
Geronimo.
Yeah.
I got a funny story about that. We were just at the beach this last 2 weeks ago, and I told my son, he's 16, right, KD? I said, look, before we leave, you got to ride one slide, right? So he's like, all right, bet. He comes over there. He's like, Dad, I picked the slide. He's like, it's that one over there. And I'm not even playing. This slide went straight down. It was like 100 feet in there. It was like forever. I couldn't even see the top. This man is so scared of heights, but he's like, look, if you're going to make me do one, I'm going to do the tallest one here. Gets up to the top. Me and my wife are at the bottom watching him, and he stops. And I can see the girl. She's like, you got to go. You got to go. So finally he goes, comes all the way down to the bottom. He gets up, and he's like, are you happy now? I mean, I would have done that one. I would have, I was a smart butt as a kid. So if my parents had said, you got to do one, I'd have went to the little kitty one and be like, all right, bet. Here you go. Wee.
Yep. So I don't know how much you know about Kentucky football, but they apparently got a quarterback that does some very awkward, strange challenges. And for some reason, Jim thinks that he's got to partake in these challenges. I don't know if he's just trying to connect with his spiritual guy or what's going on, but some of the challenge consists of eating a banana with the peel, like just not peeling it and just eating a banana. And then another challenge is drinking coffee with mayonnaise in it. So I ask you, which one of those is worse? Eating a banana with the peel on it or drinking coffee with mayonnaise in it?
Drinking coffee with mayo in it.
Yeah. Are you a coffee drinker?
No, I'm not.
Well, if you were, you would know that's just wrong.
See, that's where I'm going to disagree, Daniel, because I'm not a coffee drinker. I think it's gross. The mayonnaise helped it, bro. I'm just trying to tell you.
Do you like mayonnaise, KD?
Yeah, I do.
See, there we go.
It ain't. That's a.
It's not creamer.
No, see, KD will appreciate this. That as a coffee drinker, that is a sin. That is a sin to put some nasty mayonnaise in your coffee.
KD, do y'all play Kentucky this year?
Play Kentucky at home.
Oh, there you go. Look, he can land on top of Will.
Hey, so when you sack him, just your celebration is going to be stirring the mayonnaise in the coffee.
Yep.
I'll be watching, KD.
All right, KD, last one, man. We'll let you bounce up out of here. Would you rather have massive success? I'm talking about like big time success, blow up success by accident, or would you rather have just a little bit of success, some modest success, but it was very intentional and purposeful how you got there?
Intentional and purposeful, man.
Yeah, I think that's the way to go. I mean, that's where hard work falls into place, man. You don't want to be.
I thought about this though when that lottery got up to $1 billion, and I thought about how I'd like to accidentally win that, and I'll take my success that way. Randy, I know you was thinking the same.
Okay, look, let me tell you something. I heard this said to me a long time ago at a business conference, KD. a guy, I was listening to a podcast. He said, would you rather have $100 million given to you or earn $20 million? First answer, everybody said, I would rather earn my 20 million. The guy said, well, you're an idiot. Now you're $80 million poorer just because of your pride. And I really thought about it. And I'm like, you know what? Give me 100 million.
That's right.
So Daniel's like you, KD. Me and Randy are trying to get rich easy.
I'll bet on myself. Give me the modest success, and I'll bet on myself to have massive success.
Well, I'll have 80 million more dollars than you.
Not for long. Not for long. KD, you want a bonus question, man?
Yeah,
bonus. All right.
Sure.
All right. So I in the group chat, I was asked to bring this up. So this was a question that in the last couple seasons we've asked everybody. It's a pretty, it's a pretty good question. It'll make you think a little bit. Would you rather spend 10 years in a coma or 5 years in prison?
I gotta do 10 years in a coma.
Thank you. Thank you.
The biggest dude on the show took your back, Daniel.
Because there's two things that I know, and I'm not good at prison, and I'm good at sleeping. So I know where my strengths lie. So let me take that little nap for 10 years, and
It's still funny,
me and
though.
KD, we'll figure it out.
It's still funny. We got these baseball cats coming on here talking about they want prison. We got the big
Man.
football player coming on talking about give me the nap.
Kadarian, man,
Because he can't lie.
these dudes get on here and lie to our face. They're like, "Oh, I take prison." I'm like, "No, you wouldn't."
KD, you know what I figured out from all the interviews we've done of these baseball players? They lie, bro. Let me tell you why.
Lies.
Two things they lie about. Number one, they all said they were hoopers. They lied. Number two, they all said they would go to prison. Well, not all, but most of them said they would go to prison. So what I figured out is the baseball players, they lie.
Yeah.
We got to
That's
pray
it.
for them, KD.
Pray for them. KD,
You know that-
man.
Your boys that just won that national championship, we need to pray for them.
Because a lot of them was the ones that said prison.
Yep. All right, KD, man. Anything you want to plug or promote? I know you got the kennels, you got all kinds of stuff, man. Throw it out there. Now's your chance.
Yeah, just the kennel, man. Support me on Hillboy Kennel on Instagram. And thank you all for having me on the show. It's truly a blessing. And whoever listens to this, I hope I truly impacted you all lives, man.
Hey, don't you got some cute little pups up right now that you need to get rid of?
Yeah, I got two beautiful male puppies left, 8 weeks old, up to date on their shots. A black tri and a blue tri, ABKC registered.
If y'all are looking for a pet, reach out to my man KD, because I bet you got the best pups in the land, my man. Also, on September 3rd, we're a sports podcast, man, so we gotta bring this to light. September 3rd, Troy is coming into Oxford, 3 p.m. SEC Network, man. We wish you the best of the luck then and throughout the season. If there's anything we can do for you, man, please reach out to us. Let us know.
Appreciate you all.
Absolutely. That's Kadarian Hill, everybody. We're going to take a short break, plug the sponsors, pay some bills. When we come back, we're going to talk headlines.